I start with capitalism. Capitalism or capitalistic economy. Basically, capitalism is the philosophy which is followed in capitalistic economy. Firstly, what is a capitalistic economy? A capitalistic economy is an economy or economic system in which productive resources are owned by private individuals who use these resources to earn profits, and in which the state intervention, that means the government intervention, government's interference, is minimum, so that economic activities are mostly unplanned, uncoordinated. Thus, see, capitalistic economy is such an economic system of a country in which all productive resources like banks, offices, factories, buildings, mines, organizations, everything, all these resources are owned by private individuals. Either there is no government, or even if there is government, the government doesn't have any role to play. The government has very nominal role. The government does not interfere into the activities of the people, or government's intervention or interference in the country is minimum. And therefore, the activities, the economic activities, production, consumption, all types of these type of activities are mostly unplanned, uncoordinated, are carried out in a very individual way, not in a planned way, maybe in a haphazard and chaotic way, in a very haphazard way, not organized. So this is capitalistic economy. Now I come to the features of capitalistic economy. The features of capitalistic economy. Number one, private property. Private property, the first feature of capitalistic economy is private property. Every individual in the country, the private individuals, they have got the right. They can own private property, enjoy private property. All the resources, basically all the resources in the country, I have told about those resources. All the resources are owned by, enjoyed by, operated by private individuals. This is the first feature. Second feature, right of inheritance. Right of inheritance. I hope inheritance, the meaning is quite well known. Inherit, that means the properties and the assets and the wealth of the ancestors and the forefathers and the parents are passed on to the legal heirs, the sons and daughters, automatically. This happens in a capitalistic economy. There is the right of inheritance. The individuals, the private individuals, they enjoy this right of inheritance. They inherit the property of their parents, of their ancestors. There is no restriction upon that. Third feature rather. The third feature, freedom of enterprise and occupation. Freedom of enterprise and occupation. Every individual in a capitalistic economy has got the freedom to produce whatever they like, they can produce. There is no one to restrict them. There is no one to dictate them. The producers are very free to carry on their productive activities, to produce whatever they like, to produce how much they like, to take the initiative and start an enterprise. They are free to do that. And the common people, the individuals, the common people, are also free to choose their own occupation. There is no authority who will guide them, who will dictate them, who will dominate them. No one is there to control or to regulate or to dictate or to dominate. Everyone is quite free. The next feature is freedom of choice for consumers. Like the previous point, like the previous feature, the consumers, the customers, the buyers are also very much free to choose what they will buy, what they will purchase and consume, and also what amount, what quantity they will choose to buy, they will consume, they will purchase. Here also we find there is no restriction on the part of any authority. So there is freedom of choice for the consumers. They are free to choose among the products which are available in the market that they will buy, that they will consume. Next, price mechanism. The next feature is price mechanism. In a capitalistic economy, the prices of different goods and services are determined by the free market forces of demand and supply. And this process, in which the prices of different goods and services are determined freely by the free market forces of demand and supply, this process is known as price mechanism. And also the solutions to different economic problems, like what to produce, how much to produce, how to produce, all these different basic economic problems, the solutions are made with the help of price mechanism. Price mechanism is a fundamental concept, is a very, very important concept which is operated in a capitalistic economy. It is a basic coordinating mechanism in a capitalistic economy. Economic activities are coordinated largely through price mechanism. And so, very rightly, the famous economist Adam Smith considered price mechanism as an invisible hand in a capitalistic economy. The next feature in a capitalistic economic system is competition. It's very obvious because in a capitalistic economy, all resources are owned by, operated by, enjoyed by private individuals. As everything is privately owned, privately operated, there will be competition. So there is tough competition among all the people, all the private producers and entrepreneurs and company owners and firm owners and businessmen, all are competing with each other. There is tough competition between the participants in the market in a capitalistic economy. The next feature, profit motive. Profit motive. The main aim of every individual, of every private individual in a capitalistic economy is profit, earning maximum profit. Maximization of profit, that is the ultimate motto, ultimate objective of all the people, of all the producers in a capitalistic economy. Next, self-interest. As all people are private individuals, all resources are owned by private individuals, there is competition. Therefore, every individual in a capitalistic economy works to fulfill self-interest. Everyone is busy with self-interest. No one thinks about social welfare. No one thinks about the country's welfare, the economy's welfare, economic welfare, social welfare. No one thinks. Everyone is busy with fulfilling one's own self-interest, earning maximum profit, earning more and more profit, and fulfilling self-interest. The next feature, or the last feature, is minimum government interference or intervention. I've told already while defining capitalistic economy that in a capitalistic economy the government's intervention is minimum. Either there is no government, or even if there is government, the government's role to play in the country is quite nominal. The government does not, or even if it interferes, very little. Minimum government intervention or interference into the people's activities, production activities, consumption activities, very, very less. And therefore, this type of economic system, this type of economy is called laissez-faire economy. L-A-I-S-S-E-Z, laissez-faire, F-A-I-R-E. Laissez-faire economy. A capitalistic economy is essentially a laissez-faire economy. If we are asked what is a laissez-faire economy, we can say A laissez-faire economy is such an economic system, such an economy in which there is minimum government intervention or interference. So this is all about the features of capitalistic economy. By the way, we can also write another feature here, that in a capitalistic economy there is class struggle, class conflict is there. Because in a capitalistic economy there is a high class society. That means the capitalists who own much capital, they are rich, they are capitalists, they are the haves. And there is another class which is the poor class, the poor working class people. They are the have-nots, and therefore there is a class conflict. And the high class people, the capitalists, the haves, they exploit, they torture the working class, labor class, or the have-nots. There is a class conflict between the two classes. So this can be another feature of capitalistic economy. So I have discussed all the features of capitalistic economy, and now we turn to socialistic economy. Absolutely polar opposite to capitalistic economy is socialistic economy. A socialistic economy follows socialism. Socialism is the philosophy which is followed in a socialistic economy. Actually, socialistic economic system is defined as an economic system in which the means of production, the resources, are owned by the entire society, not by any individual, by the entire society, and operated by the public authority, that is the government. I told already that socialistic economy is polar opposite to capitalistic economy. In a socialistic economy, the resources are owned by, operated by the entire society, and they are operated by the government, the state authority, the country's authority, that is the government, public authority, according to a general economic plan for the benefit of the entire community or entire society. That is a socialistic economy. In a capitalistic economy, everything is private. In a socialistic economy, everything is governments. Here, government is the ultimate ruler. Government is the ultimate operator. Everything works according to the instructions, according to the directions by the government, by the public authority. Here in a socialistic economy, the government rules, the government dictates, the government operates. But one thing, the government basically, it is believed that in a socialistic economy, the government, while ruling the country, doesn't follow rule of exploitation. Rather, the government follows socialism. The government tries to maintain or to bring about equality in the society, like egalitarianism. This term, egalitarianism, means equality in the society, rather equity in the society. Equity means a little different from equality. Equality means all people are treated equally, whether they are highly qualified or lowly qualified, or they are capable or they are not capable. But equity means the people who are highly qualified or are more able to do work, better work, they will be paid like that, highly paid. And the people who are lowly capable, lowly qualified, not very efficient, they will not be deprived, but they will be paid accordingly. This is equity. So egalitarianism is the principle followed in a socialistic economy. Economic equalities are to be brought about. And basically, one more thing, if you know about Karl Marx, Marxian philosophy is followed under socialistic economic system. Socialism is very, very close to Marxism. Socialism is related to Marxism, and Marxism says that all people are to be treated equally. Therefore, we find Karl Marx's principles are followed in a socialistic economy, in a socialistic economic system. Now we come to the features of socialistic economy. First feature, socialistic ownership, collective socialistic ownership of the productive resources. Social or collective ownership of the productive resources. That means all the resources of the country, buildings, factories, mines, banks, organizations, everything, all are owned by all the people, the entire society, operated, made, constructed, built, operated by the public authority, that is the government. By the government. And here, everything goes on by the instructions of the government. Collectively owned, like roads or buildings or factories or organizations, are collectively owned by the entire community, entire society. Nobody owns privately. No private ownership is here. There is no right of inheritance also. Nobody can inherit any property because property belonged to the government. Then how can a private individual inherit the property? Second, economic planning. See, in capitalistic economy, what is that by which prices of different goods and services are determined? By which the solutions to different basic economic problems are done? Solutions are done through price mechanism. By the process in which the market prices of different goods and services are determined by the market force of free market force of demand and supply. But in a socialistic economy, it is not price mechanism, rather it is economic planning. Economic planning. There is a wing or department of the government which is known as Central Planning Authority, and that department, that wing of the government, of the public authority, Central Planning Authority, they make full-fledged plans, economic plans about different sectors of the economy, and all different sectors work according to those plans. Economic goals are set in different sectors, and according to the goals, according to the plans which are chalked out, the operation starts, the operation goes on, the functioning goes on. Now, the next feature is social welfare as the motivating force. Social welfare as the motivating force. In a capitalistic economy, the main motive, the main objective of all the people in a capitalistic economy is profit motive, self-interest. But in a socialistic economy, it is not like that, opposite. Social welfare. Everything is done in the country with the objective of social welfare. The whole country's welfare. Because it is the government who does it. We know very well, government is for the people. So as government is for the people, then the government's activities, the public authorities' activities in the country are meant for the whole lot of people in the country. That means the entire society. So, social welfare is the main motivating force. Next, I've told already, egalitarianism. So economic equality, socialism, is based on the principles of egalitarianism. It aims at bringing about, introducing equity in the distribution of income and wealth. It also aims at providing equal opportunities to all. The government tries to do that. Next, classless society. See, I have told regarding capitalistic economy that in a capitalistic economy there is class distinction, there is class conflict, there is the existence of haves and have-nots in a capitalistic economy. Unlike that, in a socialistic economy, there is no class conflict because there is no existence of different classes. All the people are working under the government, and all the people are laborers under the government. So, it is a classless society. All productive resources are owned by the state, by the government. And all people earn their income by working for the government, for the state. Therefore, they get their income in the form of labor income. All are laborers. All are laborers. So, there cannot be any class distinction. There is no existence of high class and low class. Okay. So these are the features of socialistic economic system or socialism. Now, if you ask anybody that what are examples of capitalistic economy, see, at present there is hardly an example of purely capitalistic economy, but in the past, many European countries, also America, uh, and mostly the European countries were in the past, long back, they were examples of pure capitalistic economies. But today, in the whole world, there is hardly any example of really, genuinely a capitalistic economy where all the features. হ্যালো,
আচ্ছা অভিজিৎ,
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ বলুন।
আচ্ছা ওই তো আমি তোমার তো নাম্বার নিয়েছি, কিন্তু আমি যেখানে টাকাটা আজকে তোলার মানে পাওয়ার কথা ছিল এখন আমরা পাইনি, তো আশা করছি কালকে পাবো।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা আচ্ছা,
হ্যাঁ পরশু তুমি এত টেনশন নিও না টাকার জন্য।
না না, ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে।
হ্যাঁ তুমি টেক্সট করে দেবো শুনলাম।
হ্যাঁ,
তুমি কি কিছু মেসেজ পাঠিয়েছো
না তো
টাকার জন্য?
এখন তো কিছু পাঠাইনি আমি, সে তো সেই কবে 2.5 মাস আগে 2 মাস আগে পাঠিয়েছিলাম, এখন তো কিচ্ছু পাঠাইনি আমি।
যাকে তুমি অত চিন্তা করো, আমি তোমাকে কাল পরশুর মতো পাঠিয়ে দেবো।
ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে, ওকে।
হ্যাঁ তোমার তো এপ্রিল মে জুন মাস পর্যন্ত দেওয়া আছে, আমার লেখা আছে।
ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে,
এপ্রিল মে, তোমার তো টেনশন নিও না।
ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে, না না টেনশন কি আছে।
ওকে।
হুম হুম।